No. I think that's the impulse of every writer. And when people, often the question that I get asked is, what advice would you give to an aspiring writer? And I always
Don't
say,
do it.
well, actually the opposite. I always say the terrible truth about writing, and I've tried for a really long time to prove otherwise, is if you want to be a writer, you've got to sit down and actually write something. And that's really, really, really hard. And one of the reasons that that's really hard is because you can have, and this is what kept me from writing for a very long time, I think, is I had this idea for a children's book. And when it only existed in my mind, it was the best book that ever. It was the best book that no one had read. It was perfect. It was so funny. It was groundbreaking. It was absolutely like, this book could be so great. And I knew as soon as I sat down and started writing it that I wouldn't be that anymore, because it never is. It never is for anyone. It wasn't for Shakespeare. It wasn't for Hemingway. Like, it's the thing that's in your head. And this is, I think, what you were just talking about. The thing that you have in your head is the perfect thing, is what you want it to be, right? But the act of getting it out of your head and onto the page is painful, and there's going to be a gap between what you produce and what your vision was, whatever that might be, and in whatever sense that, like you were saying, it's not just creative writing that happens. So it's hard sometimes. This goes back to the blank page. It's hard to tackle that.
But you're right. The key to doing anything or being anything is doing the damn thing.
Well, this is why I was like, I'm so excited to talk to you guys, because the focus of your podcast is so like right for this. Like, it's what you've done is clever, because the question that you're asking is the question at the center of like creating anything, right? Like, which is about risk, and which is about, you have to, if you're going to create anything, there are 100 different ways that you have to make yourself vulnerable in order to be able to do it.